Do you try to keep your kids from being friends with certain people? You might not want to do that.
Ooh.
601-995-1017. If you've ever forbid a kid from being friends with somebody else, I want to know why. Like the juice. Why was that kid such a bad influence? And here's why you might want to stop. Researchers followed nearly 400 kids between the ages of 9 and 14 over 2 years and found that their friendships were much more likely to fall apart when mothers openly disliked or tried to block the friendship.
Yes.
Researchers say kids may end the friendship to avoid conflict at home because parents restrict contact or because the friendship slowly becomes uncomfortable. I don't know that you really want to do that to your kids. And there's a downside to that. Breaking up a friendship can leave kids feeling isolated and more vulnerable to bullying or push towards other troubled friendships. So, I mean, the devil you know type of thing.
Well, and also in my experience, sometimes you feel like you have to hide that friendship because you're being told, oh, they're a bad influence, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you almost end up hanging out with them more, and you might put yourself in some riskier situations because you don't have that open line of communication with your family anymore.
I know there was a kid he was in my class in elementary school, and he was in my very class in second grade. His name was Adam as well, and he was probably not a good influence on me. He told me about the birds and the bees.
Uh-oh.
He spelled it all out for me. Like exactly what happened.
Oh my gosh.
And my mom was not, that's a story for another day. But anyway, that was the only kid that I think that my parents probably tried to keep me from like being his friend.
Right.
But because then later in life, they just wanted me to have some friends. like they just were like, you need some more friends.
See, and that's where I feel like that's what happened to me. I think I don't have the skills of making friends because my parents never outwardly forbid me from being friends with anyone, but my mom especially would make it known. I don't like that friend. I don't trust that friend, blah, blah, blah. Like really try to discourage me from hanging out with almost all of my friends. And now I feel like I'm so bad at making friends because you have that voice in the back of your head. Don't trust them. They're a bad influence. Like all the same things I was being told about every single person I met in my life, I now project that onto all the new people. And then I don't have any friends.
601-995-1017. Is there like that one kid in your child's class that you're like, oh, please don't let my son be friends with little Johnny?
No.
Like he is the worst. You can't be friends with him. Like what does that kid do that's so bad that makes you want to forbid you from your kid from having a friendship with that person?
Or do you have any regrets from not keeping in contact with someone because you were forbidden to be friends with them?
Yeah, that's another great angle to this, too. 601-995-1017. Couple text messages coming in. It says, every time my son hung out with this other kid, he came home disrespectful and angry. It started changing his personality.
Oh, see, I'd have a hard time as a parent not wanting to say, I don't want you to hang out with them because you feel like they get that bad behavior. And I totally understand dogs and kids, not the same thing. But whenever I drop my dog Sealy off at any type of doggy daycare or boarding, it feels like he adopts a lot of bad habits. He barks more. He's more hyper. It's like all the rules go out the window. He's just hanging out with all these bad dogs. And I don't like it.
Were you videotaping me? Because I want a slow motion instant replay of my eye roll that I just did. This text said, that kid had already been suspended twice for fighting. I didn't think it was a healthy influence on my son.
Oh, but at the same time with that one, I could see like you could very easily be like, you don't want what happened to little Timmy to happen to you. You could get suspended too, and then you'd be in big trouble.
And I am a little bit worried that this parent may have overstepped a little bit. It says, I could tell my child was trying too hard to fit in with what that group was doing, even things that they wouldn't normally do. Well, maybe your kid is trying to broaden their horizons. Maybe, they weren't into playing kickball at recess, but they met a couple people and it's like, kickball's not that bad.
Well, but what if it's not kickball? What if it's something else?
She didn't say that it was something else.
But
why do we have to assume it's something else?
Because if a parent is worried about it, I have a feeling it's something different than kickball.
And if it was a nefarious activity, like I could see that being a bad thing.
Right.
But they wouldn't be like, my child is going to do that nefarious activity and they didn't even want to.
Well, maybe peer pressure.
I think you're giving your kid too much credit in that case.
Adam and Allison in the morning.